Let's cross to Liverpool, where Gloria is waiting for us at the conference. Just an hour to go before that speech. As we said, 17 points ahead of the Tories. He couldn't wish for a better start to the conference day.
Well, let's test that with Jonathan Ashworth, Shadow Work and Pensions Secretary. Mark, what kind of Keir Starmer are we going to see today? Is Labour the person that wants to be our next Prime Minister? Are we going to hear some policies from him?
I think you're going to see Keir Starmer give a very confident speech outlining how Labour has a plan to grow our economy sustainably, a plan to stabilise the cost of living, and a plan to rebuild our public services like the National Health Service, which really are on their knees after 12 years of Conservative government. So you'll see policies, but you'll also see a vision for the future of this country of good jobs, rising living standards and good public services.
I'm hearing a lot this week from the leadership, from all of you really, about your party now being responsible with the public finances. But isn't it the case that both parties' spending pledges are based on borrowing? If they are reckless, if your suggestion is that the government is reckless because they are borrowing too much, then you are equally reckless.
Well, let's just remember what's happened in the last few days. The Liz Truss has borrowed huge amounts in order to fund massive big tax cuts for the very super wealthy, for bankers and billionaires.
Ordinary people.
Big tax cuts who the wealthier get the bigger proportion of the benefit from those tax cuts. We've seen the reaction to that in the markets. You've had the Chancellor being chased up the street, and I've never seen anything like that. And the Chancellor, of course, on Sunday, Kwasi Kwarteng, saying he might cut tax further. It's an extraordinary behaviour from a Chancellor in a crisis, actually. Our approach is completely different. Every policy pledge that we make will explain how we're going to fund it, how we're going to cost it, and actually, for example, yesterday I was talking about how we're going to get more people back to work. We're going to reform employment services, because we know, 600,000 over 50s have left the labour market. If we can get more people into work with proper help, support and flexible jobs, that's good because it gets people off benefits, but it also grows our economy and we're all better off as a result of it.